No es ninguna promesa, tiene 7 Grand Slams, para nada es una promesa, es una leyenda de nuestro deporte ya, ¿no? Al final lo que ha conseguido, si te vas a los grandes jugadores históricos de Grand Slams, no hay tantos que tengan 7 Grand Slams, o sea que no, de promesa nada.
¿Vale? Era el primer día que ibas a verle como profesional, no pudiste elegir un mejor partido, ¿no? ¿Qué te pareció el nivel que ofrecieron los dos y sobre todo el de Djokovic en una final de Grand Slam a su edad?
Fue un partido como lo que tienen que ser unas finales de Grand Slam, ¿no? Partidos de nivel, disputados, que al final pues se ve un poquito la diferencia de edad a la hora de las capacidades físicas de uno y de otro, pero cada uno con sus armas pues intentando llevar el rendimiento a la máxima expresión y disfruté la final desde otro punto de vista y al fin y al cabo pues ves todo desde una perspectiva distinta. Cuando sigo jugador pues lo ves también desde un punto más tranquilo, analizando las cosas de una manera más sosegada y ya está.
Former tennis player Rafa Nadal commented this Tuesday that Carlos Alcaraz, winner of 7 Grand Slam titles, is already a legend of Spanish sport despite his young age, and he believes that comparing the current generation with his own would be mistaken, since today's Novak Djokovic is not the same as he was 10 or 15 years ago. Alcaraz is not a prospect, he has 7 Grand Slams. He is already a legend of our sport. If you look at great historic players, there are not many who have won 7 majors. In Australia he played a match of a very high level, a competitive one, in which the age difference was evident, but each one tried to take their performance to the maximum with their own weapons. I really enjoyed watching the final, said Rafa Nadal in statements to the media after the presentation of the charity golf circuit Spin Plus Swing. Nadal pointed out that the current generation cannot be compared with his own, as doing so would be mistaken. Comparing Alcaraz with the current Djokovic is like comparing today's Messi with the one who played at Barcelona or the current Cristiano with the one who played at Real Madrid. I have never said nor will I ever say that some are better than others. Each one's career will mark that, he added. As for his life after tennis, the 14-time Roland Garros champion said that he now enjoys it from another point of view, more calmly and without any kind of strange feeling. My stage ended the way it had to end. I extended it more than I would have imagined and now I am completely happy to be able to see my fellow players succeed, he added. I don't think it would change anything in tennis if Djokovic wins his 25th Grand Slam. It is neither good nor bad for tennis. Djokovic has put together an impressive career and he is still there because he still can be. He had an opportunity in Melbourne. Honestly, I don't think he has that many left because of his age, but what he is achieving is admirable, the former Spanish tennis player praised one of his greatest rivals, Novak Djokovic. Finally, on the occasion of the creation of the charity circuit Spin Plus Swing, he emphasized that he has always enjoyed the possibility of contributing to improving the quality of life of other people. I grew up with it, I saw it at home since I was a child. It is a great fortune to be able to support so that children can have a different future. It is a great satisfaction and a great joy. And if it serves to inspire society, then welcome it, he concluded. What Rafael Nadal told Carlos Alcaraz in a private chat after bringing down Novak Djokovic. Carlos Alcaraz revealed what Rafael Nadal told him about his performance after winning the Australian Open crown. The 22-year-old player completed the Grand Slam of his career earlier this month by triumphing over Novak Djokovic in the final at Rod Laver Arena. Despite occupying the number 1 spot in the world rankings, the Spanish star had never gone beyond the quarterfinals at the Melbourne Major before. Alcaraz encountered difficulties from the outset of his battle with Djokovic when the veteran took the first set 6-2. However, the new Australian Open champion recovered to win the next 3 sets 6-2, 6-3, 7-5 and reach a career milestone. Tennis icon Nadal was present at the final, and Alcaraz recalled what his Spanish compatriot told him during their post-match conversation. Rafa congratulated me and we talked a bit about the match, about how well Novak started, how difficult it was, Alcaraz said, Marca. I told him that tactically I started in a way that didn't work. I was playing very straight, and he told me that he saw it that way too. He added, we didn't talk much because I had my things to do and he was leaving. It was a very special moment to hug Rafa with a trophy in my hand. Alcaraz secured a 7th Grand Slam title while denying Djokovic his 25th major victory and leveling their head-to-head record at 5 wins apiece. Alcaraz has also faced Nadal on 3 occasions, achieving 1 victory over his hero at the 2022 Madrid Open, but it was his teammates that the two strengthened their bond. During his year of retirement, Nadal chose to partner with Alcaraz for the doubles event at the Paris Olympic Games, reaching the quarterfinals. Both men were also part of the Spanish team for the Davis Cup, where Nadal brought his career to an end. The Australian Open was the third time Alcaraz defeated Djokovic in a major final and was further proof that tennis has entered a new era, dominated by the Spanish ace and his competitive rival Jannik Sinner. It has been a whirlwind few years for Alcaraz, and he reflected on the honor of having Nadal as a mentor. "You have to value things," he said on El Partidazo de Cope. "You have to stop for a moment and think about everything you're doing. And enjoy it. And appreciate it." Having Rafa watching the match made the day even more special. "The fact that Rafa congratulates me and is happy about my successes and about me reflects what a wonderful person he is. I already said it at the Olympic Games, when I got to know him better, but it's an incredible feeling to be able to say that I talked to him as an equal and as a friend." Unexpected message from a coach to Alcaraz. Rick Macci, a legendary tennis coach and a fervent admirer of Carlos Alcaraz, once again paid a fine compliment to the world number one, assuring that he is the best thing that has happened to tennis in the last 5 years. Above all, because of the way the Spanish player understands the game, to the point of influencing the coaches of future generations. Carlos Alcaraz continues to be one of the main topics of conversation on social media, especially after completing the career slam at the Australian Open. One of the regular voices when it comes to praising the qualities of the current world number one is Rick Macci, who has once again dedicated some lovely words to him on his X account. "Carlos is the best thing that has happened to tennis in the last 5 years. His smile, his complete game, his unique game, has changed the way it is taught and reminds us that it is a game and that games should be fun," said the legendary coach, known for having trained the Williams sisters at the beginning of their tennis careers. Macci did not only focus on Alcaraz's style of tennis, but also highlighted his influence on the new generations, when it comes to how coaches teach the racket sport, who have the best example in the 7-time Grand Slam winner and his eternal smile on court. Carlos Alcaraz is right now the great reference point of world tennis, even more so after winning his 7th major at the Australian Open, which allowed him to complete his assault on the career Grand Slam as the youngest in history. Nevertheless, the victory is one step and now the road continues, since after skipping this week's ATP 500 in Rotterdam, the man from Murcia will return in Doha, where he will try to improve on last year's quarterfinals, but he will do so with the peace of mind of knowing that the ATP number 1 ranking will remain his with full legitimacy. The Spaniard continues for another week at the top of the rankings, with a 2,750-point lead over Jannik Sinner, while Felix Auger-Aliassime has climbed to 6th place and is the big news of the week. A major step forward that is due to the North American's victory at the Montpellier tournament, which allows him to move up 2 spots and overtake Taylor Fritz and Alex de Minaur, who, for their part, dropped 2 places. Life goes on after Australia and now the pupil of Samuel Lopez has returned to training in El Palmar, at the facilities of his Carlos Alcaraz Academy, with his mind set on what is coming next, the ATP 500 in Doha, which takes place from the 16th to the 22nd of this month, where he will try to improve on what he did in his first participation in the Qatari event a year ago, when Yuri Lehecka eliminated him in the quarterfinals. On the other hand, if he wins one more match in Doha, Alcaraz will have equaled his best start to a season on the ATP Tour with 8 consecutive victories. Carlos Alcaraz announces that his brother will be his coach. The tennis player assures that during the most important tournaments of the year he will be coached by Samuel Lopez, while his brother Alvaro will take on a more prominent role in some events due to his involvement. Carlos Alcaraz's performance since his split with Juan Carlos Ferrero has not declined. On the contrary, since the tennis player announced that Samuel Lopez would be his new coach, Carlos has reached new heights by winning the Australian Open. In addition, the incorporation of his brother Alvaro Alcaraz into his team has been an incentive, according to Carlos himself. In an interview with Marca, the tennis player confirmed that during the most important tournaments of the year, 80% of everything I play, or more, Samuel will be directing him, while in the remaining tournaments his brother will act as his coach. In some events, my brother will be the only one traveling with me.